It started like it always did. A group chat message from Mom, sent with the usual sparkles. Christmas holiday family chat Christmas. Sparkles a title that she insisted on using every year. But this time, it wasn't a cookie recipe or flight confirmation. It was a decision. Hey, everyone, times are tight. Let's skip gifts this year. Let's just enjoy being together. Read. Wrapped, no pressure, no shopping, just love. I stared at it, thumb hovering over the keyboard. For a moment, relief washed over me. No mental gymnastics figuring out what to get on a tight budget. No midnight online sales. No guilt over not being able to match Lauren's gifts. Lauren chimed in almost immediately. Yes, 100% agree, no gifts. Let's just chill this year. Christmas. Read. Of course she did. Lauren was the golden child. Perfect job, perfect suburban house, 2 kids who wore matching outfits to brunch, and a husband who somehow made even golf sound sexy. She always agreed first, like she was the one setting the tone. Still, I typed, totally fine with me. Time together sounds amazing. Even if I had to hide my sigh as I hit send. Because, truthfully, I loved giving gifts. Even when money was tight, I'd find a way, handmade crafts, thrifted treasures, even personalized poems when the budget was really rough. Last year, I spent 3 weeks crocheting scarves for everyone, staying up after work, fingers aching. Lauren had given everyone Beats headphones, and yet Mom had gushed over her generosity. But this year would be different. Equal footing, no showboating, no price tags hiding in coat pockets. I made plans, simple ones. I'd host Christmas brunch. Nothing fancy, just a warm table, spiced apple cider, fresh cinnamon rolls, and hand-written cards for everyone. Illy, my son, helped me cut out stars from gold paper to decorate the mantel. He asked, more than once, if we were really not doing presents. I assured him, no gifts this year, baby. We all agreed. He nodded slowly. Okay, that's fair, I guess. He's always been thoughtful like that, 11 going on 40. His classmates talked about gaming chairs and VR headsets. He asked for books. This year, I'd written him a story instead. A fantasy tale starring a brave kid with a slingshot and a dragon friend. He'd find it in his stocking, printed and bound, with a note. Because your imagination is the best gift I know. It had felt right, honest, special, but something in my gut, a small twist of doubt, nagged at me as the days crept toward Christmas. I noticed Lauren's Instagram stories, blurred shopping bags, captions like last-minute magic, photos of her kids with mischievous grins next to emoji-covered boxes. Still, I said nothing. I wanted to believe in the pact. I wanted to believe that, for once, the season could be about presents, not presents. That we could just be together, without the silent competition Lauren always won. On Christmas Eve, Mom called to confirm the time for brunch. Looking forward to your cinnamon rolls, she said. I'm so proud of you for hosting, sweetheart. You always make things feel cozy. That made my chest warm. Maybe she really did see me. I hung up, turned on soft jazz, and started baking. The house smelled like brown sugar and nutmeg. Illy arranged the cards we'd made on the entryway table, careful not to smudge the ink. Before bed, he turned to me. You think they'll like our cards? I kissed his forehead. They'll love them. They're from the heart. He smiled. I don't even miss presents that much. I turned away before he could see my eyes shine. And that was how Christmas Eve ended, with warm muffins on the counter, handmade decorations glowing gently in the window, and hope softening the sharp edges of an otherwise difficult year. I didn't know that by noon the next day, my heart would be sitting in my throat, watching as the promise of a giftless Christmas shattered like a dropped ornament. But that was still to come. For now, we believed in the pact. We believed in fairness, in family, in love without condition. We believed. The morning light filtered in soft through the kitchen window, glinting off the sugar-glazed tops of the cinnamon rolls. I'd been up since 6, reheating casseroles, setting the table, fluffing the throw pillows. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine, cozy, warm, lived-in. Illy had folded all the cloth napkins into little trees. He beamed with pride when I noticed. Can we give out the cards after we eat? He asked, tugging at the sleeve of his sweater. It was navy blue, too small in the arms, but he insisted on wearing it. "It's my nicest one," he'd said. Of course, I said, right after brunch. The doorbell rang at 10:07, right on schedule. Mom arrived first, cheeks rosy from the cold, holding a store, bought pie in one hand and a poinsettia in the other. She kissed my cheek and whispered, "You always make things feel like home," before heading straight to the kitchen. Then came Lauren. Designer boots, perfectly curled hair, and two excited kids in tow. Ava and Lucas, bounding up the steps like little reindeer on espresso. Behind them, Lauren's husband Paul carried a few tote bags I assumed held snacks or extra coats. "Wow," she said, looking around. "You really went all out." It wasn't a compliment. It was surprise, or maybe irritation that I'd tried it all. "Just some food and decorations," I said lightly. "Thought I'd make it festive, even if we're skipping gifts this year." She smiled. "Right, of course," the pact. Brunch passed in a blur of chatter and clinking forks. Illy stayed close to me, listening more than talking. Every time I looked over, he was watching Ava and Lucas. Their casual mentions of gadgets and games, their loud stories about their iPads and smart lamps, and whatever else they had that he didn't. Then it happened. Lauren clapped her hands. "Okay, kids, go ahead. Merry Christmas." Before I could process what she meant, Ava and Lucas were diving into the large, logo-covered gift bags Paul had brought in. Out came the boxes, sleek, white, unmistakable, Apple Watches, 2 of them, Series 9, different band colors. Ava's even had a glitter case already clipped on. Illy went quiet beside me. "Oh," I said, my voice smaller than I meant it to be. "I thought we weren't doing gifts." Lauren waved a hand like it was nothing. "Just a little something for the kids. You know, not really gifts, more like essentials, for safety and fitness, school and all, right?" Mom chimed in, laughing. "They're practical, not like toys or anything, and it's just the kids, honey. You know Lauren, she can't help herself." I looked at Mom. I looked at Lauren. I looked at Illy, who was pretending to be interested in the corner of his plate. A storm brewed behind my ribs, quiet but rising. Lauren sipped her mimosa, smug in her perfect sweater, already helping Ave set up her watch. They've been asking for them all year, and with Paul's bonus we figured, why not? It's not like we got gifts for the adults. I nodded slowly. "Of course, just the kids." Mom reached for another muffin. "I hope you're not upset, sweetheart. Christmas is for joy, right?" I didn't answer, because I was too busy swallowing the lump in my throat. My hands were shaking as I reached into my bag and pulled out the small bundle of envelopes. Handwritten, personalized, gold ribbon tied neatly around them. Illy sat up straighter. I passed the stack around. "We made cards," I said. "Nothing big, just a little love." Lauren glanced at hers, gave a polite smile, and tucked it under her plate. Mom read hers silently, then said, "Very sweet, honey. You've always been so sentimental." I looked over at Illy, who was watching Ava play with her new digital watch face, her wrist twisting in the light. His card, the one with the story I wrote just for him, still rested unopened in his lap. I reached for his hand under the table. He squeezed back, but not too tightly, the way he always does when he's trying not to cry. "I'm sorry, buddy," I whispered. He didn't answer. The air had shifted. The table was still full, the lights still warm, the cinnamon rolls still fresh, but something important had been broken. Something quiet, invisible but deep, trust, and beneath it, something else had been born, resolve. Because in that moment, as I watched my son fold his card and slip it quietly into his pocket, I made myself a silent promise. Next year, they would remember this moment, but not for the reasons they thought. They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but this one was slow, cooked, tender, and quietly delicious. In the days after that Christmas brunch, I didn't yell. I didn't text Lauren. I didn't cry to Mom about how unfair it was. I just went quiet. There's a certain kind of silence that comes not from weakness, but from clarity. Illy didn't ask questions. He never brought up the Apple Watches. But I saw the shift in his eyes, his posture, the way he quietly slid his home-made card from Lauren into the trash 2 days later when he thought I wasn't looking. I kept my promise, not to them, to him. The year that followed, I picked up extra freelance work, nights and weekends. I sold things we didn't use: books, old electronics, even a set of earrings I'd been gifted years ago but never wore. I couponed, I saved, I hustled in a quiet, invisible way. By spring, I'd opened a small savings account, nothing dramatic, just a humble beginning. I labeled it for Ellie next Christmas. Mom texted a few times over the year with generic updates. Your sister's planning a summer lake trip. Or Ava's in cheer now. But she never once asked how Ellie was doing in school, or how my new job was going. Lauren, of course, posted everything. She got new patio furniture in May, a second car in July, and in October she teased, trying something new this year for Christmas. Gushing, stay tuned. I tuned out. Instead, I tuned into my son, to who he was becoming, what he loved, what he dreamed about. He wanted to write stories, build worlds, learn video editing. He talked about being an author one day, or maybe a game developer. So I saved for that, not for things, but for tools. Christmas, 1 year later, I offered to host again. No one objected. Why would they? I was the warm, quiet one, the cozy sister, the one who didn't make waves. The no gifts a rule was floated again. Mom said, "It worked so well last year, don't you think?" Lauren added, "Honestly, it's such a relief. We're all just so busy." I agreed. "Absolutely," I said, "let's keep it simple." And I meant it, mostly. Brunch was the same: cinnamon rolls, fresh cider, twinkling lights. The tree was small but lit beautifully, and our handmade ornaments, now joined by a few new ones Ellie crafted, glimmered like stars. Everything was warm, lovely, balanced, until I said, after we ate, "I do have one thing, just for Ellie." Lauren tensed visibly. Mom raised an eyebrow. "Oh." I went into the bedroom and returned with a single box, not flashy, not wrapped in foil paper or designer ribbon. Just a simple brown box tied with string. I placed it in front of Ellie. He looked up at me. "What is it?" "Open it," I said, my heart pounding. He unwrapped it carefully. Inside was a mid-range laptop, nothing extreme, but fast, clean, and preloaded with writing software, beginner animation tools, and a sleek little drawing tablet tucked underneath. He gasped, "Is this for me?" I nodded. "For your stories, for your games, for your future." He blinked fast. "But I thought we weren't doing gifts." I smiled. "We weren't. But this isn't a gift. It's an investment." He lunged forward and hugged me so hard my glasses nearly came off. Then I handed him the second item, a letter. Inside was a printout from the bank, a new savings account in his name. It didn't have much, just a few $100s, but it was his, a start, a future. Lauren was quiet. Her kids looked confused. "Do we get something too?" She coughed. "We didn't do gifts this year, remember?" I turned to her gently. "Right, just for the kids, remember." I couldn't help myself. Mom fidgeted with her coffee. "That's lovely of you." There was an awkward silence. Then Ellie, proud and glowing, handed Lauren and Grandma each a card he'd made himself. Handmade with drawings, a short poem, and a little photo of the two of us inside. Lauren took it with a tight smile. Mom actually read hers. "You wrote this?" she asked Ellie. He nodded. "Yeah, I wanted you to have something real." Mom swallowed, suddenly quiet. I looked around the table and felt something I hadn't the year before: peace. Not because I'd won, but because I'd chosen integrity and refused to let it make me small. They could keep their double standards, their shifting rules, their selective generosity. I wasn't here to play that game. I was here to raise a boy who believed in magic, even when the world tried to make him doubt it. And next Christmas, we'd still have cinnamon rolls, we'd still have stories, but this time, we'd have something else too. A reminder that quiet love doesn't mean weakness, and revenge doesn't have to be loud to be felt. Sometimes, it just needs to be honest. And beautifully timed.